Well, hello there, it's Ina here and welcome to my art room. Now today's video is not going to be a process video like I usually try to post for you every Friday. It's more of a show and tell. It's all about my Etsy store and a bunch of new listings I just put up. And all those listings will be active at the same time as this video will go public. That way all of you, my viewers, can have first pick. And I really hope you will go over and visit my store. It's called Ina's Art Room. And of course you will find the link below in my description box. Actually, the link is always below any of my videos. You will also find a little Etsy icon right here on the top in my channel banner, and my store always has items in it, but right now it's fully stocked. Now my art room is absolutely stuffed with art pieces, and it's high time for me to let some of them go and to make room for the new ones. Now whenever I sell something, especially online, I of course have to consider the shipping, especially because some of my items are rather heavy. I have to consider the cost of the materials I used and of course the time I spent creating them. Now my Etsy store is set up in a way that the shipping is included in the price, and I think most sellers do it. It's easier for us, and I think it's also simpler for the customers. But of course the shipping reflects in my prices, and that's also one reason why I shy away from shipping overseas, because the prices are absolutely outrageous and it's really not worth it for me or for my customers. So all of my items are available to you if you live here in the States. If you don't, I am really sorry. I wished I could offer my items to anyone anywhere in the world, but it's just not practical. But please still go and visit my store. Maybe some of the items there will inspire you with your own arts and crafts, and you can definitely go and look at some of my old videos, because everything I will show you here today I have filmed, I have posted on my channel, and you can see the details right there. Now secondly, the materials for my things. Well, my overhead is really very low because I work mostly with recycled items, findings and so on. It's more time of going out and looking for things. Now making my items, that's another story. I think I spend too much time on them. Some are very tedious, sometimes it's 2 days, sometimes it's 3 days and so on. But I do not expect to get paid by the hour. I love my art, I love working on it, and I just like to put my price in a way that people will appreciate what they're buying and appreciate the work that went into it. So enough of that little wee word of introduction. I will, as I said, go very swiftly here because you have seen most of these before. I think pretty much all of them I made during the last year. There are a couple of older projects. So first of all, there are some altered items, like this replica of an old typewriter. So he is for sale. So is this little globe. It turns, it's also a vintage replica version. It has a dangle, it has these jewels, and like always, most of my pieces are highly decorated with charms and broken jewelry, moving parts, clock parts, handyman items, and you name it. There's also this vintage phone. The receiver comes off, the dial turns, it has numbers, it has a pretty butterfly, and again, highly decorated. Let's see what else we have. Then we have this car, which is in a way also an altered item, although it got a major makeover. It has a book box here that opens for storage with a magnet, highly decorated. There is a cab with driver and coffee cup, nice windows, lots of interesting dangles and details, and the wheels turn with a little click. So there is this one. Let's see. Along that same line I have this miniature desk. Again, of course, a replica of an old vintage desk. It opens with a nice quote, a mirror and room for storage. It has a little lunchbox with a fly for the little gecko here on the bench. some bottles. And again, lots of details, movable part. There is this magnifying glass. There are some dangles up here. And all around, highly decorated. This one has a lot of toys because it seemed to fit the theme of the school desk. So there's this, let's see. Then we have an altered box. Let me put this away. This looked originally already like a little crate. It got lots of great texture. It got these pipes. It got this little focal point with the steampunk emblem of the owl and other details. And it has a great inside, really nice, bright, handmade paper, and it's all sealed. So this is a great little box. All right, let's see. Then I have this assemblage in this great shaped frame. It has actually an original vintage clock pendulum, nicely decorated. It turns and moves up and down. It has a bat skull with eyes, great colors, lots of details and textures, a lot of metal pieces down here on the bottom as well, the handles, and so on. All my pieces have clean backs, either painted or decorated with paper or fabric. Most come with a hanger, or if not, then the hanger will be included with the shipping. So there is this one. Then I have this altered sand clock, and the guy inside of it, of course, rotates. It also has a magnet to stabilize them. And again, lots of little bits to decorate it. Highly decorated, great colors again. Then I have my flying machine. He has a pilot who comes off. He's movable. He can be adjusted to the seat here. Come on, mister, go back on there. Then it has wings that flap. It has a propeller that turns. And it also has this steam container here that can be taken in and out. It has dials, it has levers. Oops, don't fall off, mister. So I'll put this back in. And then here in the back, it actually opens. The door to this wheel opens. So you can see everything really well. And yes, it's decorated very tightly all around with all kinds of different items. So there is my flying machine. Let's see what else I have here. A little abstract, more simple, but great colors, great texture. This has a fabric backing. Smaller assemblage piece on an arched window. Paper behind the glass, the assemblage on top of it. Little picture frame with a vintage photo. A little chain, clean back. So there's this one. Then is my cello, which I just made recently. It's a really nice replica of a cello with lots of details, nicely decorated against a bright background. And here we have lots and lots of very interesting metal pieces. The frame and the metal make this one also rather heavy, nice and clean on the back. And then this piece is actually one of my older ones. It has a really nice texture, yet simple background, a vintage frame with a vintage image of a little girl, a quote. It says, "Be your own kind of you." Texture, fabric in the back. I think this would be a great gift for any little girl. Let's see. Then I have my silhouette lady here with all the gears, lots and lots of layers, a jewel, great background color, a nice color in the back as well, a little handle on the top, nicely sealed. And I have my little bird, or it could be a chicken. I never quite could decide. This assemblage is unpainted, but has different color of metal bits and pieces. Clean back. There's my little bird. And then there is this one which I made recently. It has a dragonfly made from jewelry bits, science glass, another little dragonfly here, lots of texture, nice clean back. And this one here, this was actually one of my first assemblage pieces. I always really liked it, but it's time to let it go. It has a vintage altered image right here. Lots of great texture and really nice colors. So here's this one. Let's see. And then this here is a combination of collage and an assemblage with this really cool bulldog emblem. Lots of texture, interesting bits and bobs, and it lives in an old rustic looking frame. Then I have my workable clock here. It has this suspended emblem here, some little bottles with beads, an owl, great colors, a little dangle in the back, and there you can see the mechanism of the clock. So this one is also up for sale. All right, let me make a little more room here again. And then of course there's my robot here. Now he of course looks best hanging up, but this will do for now. He has movable arms and legs. His head moves side to side. His name is XP28. He's suspended by a chain and a jump ring, but his belly is really interesting with lots of fun components in rusty details. So there is this guy. So let me see. Oh, last not least, I think it's last not least, is this book box here. It's nicely decorated all around with a dangle here, and it has a drawer or slide out like this, which stands on its own. It has little legs so it balances, and two shelves full of fun little bits. There are dragons and all kinds of things. It has a keepsake box with a magnet, and it also has a journal here inside. It's quite thick, lots of pages. So this is my book box, and I think, let me look around, I think I showed you everything. But actually the listings which you will see today will hopefully increase. I'm hoping to add even more things to my store. Aside from more art pieces, I also have a bunch of materials I want to pass on. Some are brand new, I never used them, but I just don't use them in my type of art. And others are collections of odds and ends that could be very useful to other assemblage artists. So more things are coming, but please don't hold your breath. It always takes me a little while. For now, please do go over into my store. There are more than 50 items available. I so hope that you find something that tickles your fancy. Anyway, the holidays are just around the corner, so it's a good time to do some shopping. I appreciate all of your support, be it by buying some of my items or all your encouragement I receive here on my channel. So thank you so very much. I wish you a wonderful week. Stay well, stay creative, and bye bye for now.